Daddy, tell me about Jumanji.
Alright, cool. So the movie begins in like 1890 something, like a billion trillion years ago before you were born, right? These two kids are burying Jumanji deep underground.
Why, Daddy? Why are they burying Jumanji deep underground? Tell me why.
You're about to find out, my boy. So now it's like 1969. 61 years have passed by, and now we meet Alan Parrish. He's this kid, right? He's riding his bike, minding his own business, waving at the people, and these bullies chase after him
Why, Daddy?
because they want to punch him in the face.
Daddy, you said bullies become police.
Yes, my boy. So he finally gets to safety at his dad's shoe factory where he chats with this guy. His name is Carl. Carl has invented these things called sneakers. Like the little baby sneakers that you also wear. Carl's gonna be a bajillionaire.
But Daddy,
Yes, my boy.
if the sneakers were made on company property during company time using company resources, doesn't that mean that the sneakers will remain the property of Parrish Shoe Company?
My boy is a genius. 100%. Anyway, so Alan accidentally leaves the sneaker on a shredding machine, right? And it gets destroyed. Alan's dad kicks him out of the factory to face the bullies by himself.
Alan's dad is horrible. He's not awesome like you, Daddy.
Thanks for stating the obvious, my boy. So Alan gets beaten up by Billy the Bully and his biker boys, and they run away with his bike. Then Alan hears it. The boom, 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 boom.
The boom, 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 boom.
He follows the boom, 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 boom to a construction site and starts digging and digging. And guess what he finds? Jumanji.
Oh, wow! So, Daddy, back in Jurassic times, kids could go to construction places?
Yes, my boy. Those were the days when men were men and we ate a pound of beef as a light midnight snack. So he grabs Jumanji and runs home, and his dad is like, son, you need to become a man. You're going to boarding school. And it's like, no, Daddy, I'm running away.
Daddy, what's boarding school?
A school where you'll never see your mommy and daddy ever again.
No! I hate Alan's dad.
Anyway, so his mom and dad go out for the evening.
Ding dong.
And who's that at the door? Why, it's Billy the Bully's girlfriend. She brought Alan's bike back, and they hear it again. The boom, 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 boom.
The boom, 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 boom.
Yes, so Alan brings out Jumanji to show Sarah, and they decide to play.
And then...
Alan rolls the dice, and it lands on a 5, and guess what Jumanji says?
What?
In the jungle you must wait until the game reads 5 or 8, and Alan gets sucked into Jumanji. And Sarah gets chased out of the house by the big scary jungle pets.
So, Daddy, how does Alan get back?
Oh my boy, he doesn't. Alan is gone forever, never to be seen again. So 26 years pass by, and this lady named Auntie Nora buys the house. She's gonna move in with her nephew Judy and her niece Peter. He's a boy, she's a girl. Can I make it any more obvious?
Hey.
Did you know Judy was gonna be your mom? Because Daddy had a huge crush on Kirsten Dunst in the 90s.
Why isn't she my mommy, Daddy?
Because of Spider-Man! He's a criminal, I tell you! Anywho, the kids hear the boom, 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 boom.
The boom. Wait, does this mean that only kids can hear the boom, 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 boom?
Yes, Satan's board game can only be heard by kids before it completely destroys their lives. So Judy rolls the dice, and guess what Jumanji does?
What, Daddy? Tell me, tell me, tell me.
Jumanji unleashes these huge mosquitoes, but Judy punches them with a tennis racket and they fly away. Peter rolls the dice, and the house gets ransacked by these 1995 CGI monkeys that look a lot better than Marvel's 2023 CGI. But you know what the worst part is?
What,
They
Daddy?
can't stop playing. They have to finish the game.
Wow. And then...
Peter rolls the dice. He gets a 5. And Jumanji unleashes a big, scary lion. And no, this is not some cute Disney vegetarian lion. Oh, no, 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 no. This is the real deal. Big teeth, dagger-clawed, child-killing, man-eating, meat-loving lion.
Daddy, roar like a lion. Roar.
Okay. Roar! The lion attacks them.
Louder, Daddy.
The lion attacks them. And just as the lion is about to eat them,
Daddy, wait a minute. You said Alan must wait in the jungle until someone rolls a 5 or an 8. Doesn't that mean...
Alan is back! You're so smart, my little boy. Alan is back and he's ready to fight the lion. He threatens it with a knife. The lion leaps, but Alan jumps over the lion and locks it into a room.
Yay! But Daddy,
Yes, my boy.
how is that possible? Because lion can jump 12 feet into the air, but a people's can only jump like 1 foot. Also, was it an Asian or an African
It
lion?
was an African lion, my boy. Like you, an African man. Lion, you're an African man, lion.
But Dad, Sir David Attenborough says African lions don't live in the jungles. They live in the savannah.
Silence! So now Alan is back after 26 years of being trapped inside Jumanji. He's a big man with a beard now. Do you know how long 26 years is?
Is it more than 25?
Yes. But Alan's excited to be home, right? He's running around the house, he's hugging Peter, happy to be home. Then he runs outside where he bumps into Carl.
The man from the factory?
Yes! He's a cop now with a brand new car.
So is Carl a bully?
No, nice people can be cops too. So while Carl's trying to figure out what's up with this jungle man, but then the Grand Theft Auto monkeys from earlier sneak into Carl's brand new cop car, fires a shotgun, and they go for a joyride because Jumanji is crazy.
Daddy, what is Grand Theft Auto?
You're too young to play it. But it's a game where you can run around, do anything you want, cause chaos, and be an absolute menace. You know, just like you.
Hey!
Anyway, Alan runs to his dad's shoe factory because he wants to see his daddy. But the factory was shut down and his parents are dead. The old man living there tells him that no, his dad loved him. He was just really, really bad at showing it.
Daddy, did he find his parents?
No, they're dead. So things in the house are starting to go crazy as the pterodactyl mosquitoes are biting people everywhere. Alan, Judy, and Peter hide inside of a car, but a mosquito attacks them.
Oh no!
Alan starts the car and drives away.
But Daddy, wasn't Alan in the jungle for 26 years? Where did he learn how to drive?
You should work for CinemaSins, my boy. Anyway, they get back to the house and Peter and Judy try to convince an indubitably traumatized Alan to finish the game. Judy rolls the dice, but nothing happens. You see, it's not her turn to roll.
Oh, it's Peter's turn.
No.
Alan?
No.
Sarah Whittle.
Yes! The little bully's girlfriend, Sarah Whittle, has to roll. So they go to her house and she faints when she finds out that Peter is back. And they kidnap her without her consent and trick her into rolling the dice. And Jumanji unleashes its next act. Jungle plants, more terrifying than snakes on a plane. One of the murderous plants grabs Peter by the legs and tries to eat him. But Alan chops the plant and frees him.
Daddy, Peter must be very delicious because it's the second time today something tries to eat him.
So after the monkey joyride, Carl finds his brand new car wrapped around a pole. Alan rolls the dice, unleashing his biggest fear.
What's that, Daddy?
Van Pelt, typical British man who kills everything wherever he goes for no good reason. Ask anyone under British colonial rule. They all know Van Pelt. He was in Jumanji with Alan and tried to kill him the whole time. Alan runs away and Carl happens to pass by and Van Pelt shoots the crap out of Alan's brand new car.
Pew, pew, bang, bang. Van Pelt is a bad man.
Yes, he's British. Anywho, Alan eventually comes back and Judy rolls the dice.
What does Jumanji do next, Daddy?
There's a rumble.
In the jungle?
That rhymes. You're a poet and you didn't even know those words could rhyme. So Jumanji escalates the chaos beyond all human comprehension. A stampede of every single crush you to death African animal running through the house. We talking elephants, rhinos, zebras, honey badgers.
Daddy, why is Jumanji so crazy?
Because Jumanji's motto is simple.
I don't want peace. I want problems, always.
Daddy!
I should have opened the door for the lion.
Why?
Because stampedes kill lions. I saw it in The Lion King.
My son, your genius could generate world peace. Anyway, as soon as it's over, Pelican flies off with Jumanji.
But Daddy, they have to finish the game.
Yes, that's why they run after it. Now, a visibly deranged, crazy-looking Van Pelt walks into a gun store to buy a high-caliber firearm without a background check. But thankfully, this was 1995.
Oh, Daddy, so things have changed now.
We're in America. Never. Don't you know Americans pray like this? Dear Jesus, please give us our daily guns.
Pew, pew, pew.
So after chasing the pelican to the river, Peter saves Jumanji from being swept away by the river and they go back home. While walking, Carl, the cop, the brand new car, arrests Alan. Peter tries to cheat because he wants to finish the game, but Jumanji turns Peter into a monkey.
Like Goku.
Yes! And now the town of Brantford descends to absolute Detroit. Van Pelt rips Jumanji from Peter, but Peter snatches it back. The stampede of animals blazes through the town and Peter hides in the car. The elephants and the rhinos trample over the car, trapping Peter inside. Van Pelt opens the door and he snatches Jumanji from Peter.
Did he die?
No, the ladies come and they pull him out of the car and they all run after Van Pelt into a store. Now outside of town, Carl frees Alan. But then Alan handcuffs Carl to his car and he runs off. But then he hears that, oh, there's all this chaos in town, everything's going crazy, woo, 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 woo. And he runs back to the car. Now, although Alan doesn't know how to drive, he executes the perfect J-turn and heads into the town with Carl, where they get passed by the 3 Grand Theft Auto monkeys on a police bike.
So, Daddy, monkeys only steal police stuff.
Yes, nailed it, my boy. Anyway, back at the store, things turn into Home Alone as Peter sets up traps for Van Pelt.
Daddy, what's Home Alone and did the traps work?
I'll tell you all about it one day. And yes, the traps kinda work, but not enough because he also Home Alones them.
Daddy, why does Van Pelt want Jumanji?
I have no idea, my boy. The movie never explains it. However, hopefully someone out there will comment about it on the YouTube video. Somewhere out there. Anyway, just in the nick of time, by absolute coincidence, at just the perfect moment, Ellen crashes Carl's brand new cop car into the same store and crushes Van Pelt. No one expected it.
Daddy, where did the animals run to?
Back to the suburbs, my boy. Auntie Nora saw them, and you know what happened to her? Crashed her car. A
How?
monkey got into a car. So anyway, the guys finally get back to the house, and when they go inside, the whole house is a jungle.
Were there lots of lions, Daddy?
No,
So how can a lion be the king of the jungle if there are no lions in the jungle?
this child will discombobulate me. Anyway, while Auntie Nora is walking back to the house, guess who she sees?
Who, Daddy?
Skater boy rocking the BAM TV.
Huh?
I'm old, my boy. Anywho, she sees Carl, the cop, in his brand new car. He offers her a ride home. But you won't believe what happens next.
Tell me.
Remember that tree that tried to eat Peter? It sneaks through the car. Carl jumps out while screaming like a goat.
Daddy, what does a goat sound like?
It sounds like... Then the tree grabs Carl's brand new car and crushes it and eats it in the woods.
The tweed did what?
Then back at the house, Sarah rolls the dice and Beelzebub's board game unleashes a huge rainstorm inside the house.
Daddy, that's impossible.
Nothing's impossible for Jumanji. Anyway, the storm turns into a huge flood. But that's not all, folks, because just for fun, there's a huge crocodile that wants to eat everyone.
Even Peter?
Yes, my boy.
Because that means Peter must be really delicious, because it's the third time that something tried to eat him today.
Exactly. So they all get onto a floating door and Ellen wrestles the crocodile.
Hoo, wow! Wait, Daddy, so David Attenborough said a crocodile can take down a 500-pound wildebeest. So how does a normal human wrestle one?
Then Auntie Nora and Carl arrive at the house. They open the door. Well, Carl kicks the door. And all the water bursts out and they go surfing with the crocodile.
Wow!
After all the water goes out, Sarah thanks Ellen for saving them from the alligator. But then Ellen tells that nah, she's wrong and mansplains the difference between a crocodile and an alligator.
Daddy, what's mansplaining?
It's when a man explains something to a woman because men know everything.
Oh, so like you do with mommy.
So Ellen rolls the dice and the floor turns into quicksand and he almost falls through the floor. But Sarah saves him and then the floor gets hard again. So now Ellen and Sarah are trapped in the floor.
But Daddy, if she didn't try to save him, wouldn't he have just fallen to the floor below?
Exactly. Now it's Monkey Peter's turn to roll and Jumanji unleashes the scariest creature of all. These huge Australian spiders.
Daddy, this movie is scary!
Told you. Then Auntie Nora comes back and finds that the whole house is a jungle.
Is she with Carl, the cop with a brand new car?
Nah, son, Carl's black. Carl's a homie. He knows he's got no business around scary haunted houses. All them white people survive all those crazy things. Carl knows the second he steps inside that house, he's gonna be the first to die. While Auntie Nora is walking around the house, she sees Monkey Peter. Then Auntie Nora opens a bedroom door, and what does she see?
A lion! Roar!
Roar! Then also, the tree is back and it shoots Judy in the neck. Oh no! Sarah rolls the dice, and just before the spider eats them, they run away and a huge earthquake splits the house in half.
Oh wow! And then...
Now Ellen is free. He swings from a vine, but the lion is also free and it tries to grab him.
Finally, Daddy, a lion in the jungle.
Then Ellen swings and he grabs Jumanji and falls to the floor just as he's about to roll the dice and finish the game. Van Pelt walks in and points his gun at Ellen.
Oh no!
Van Pelt tells Ellen, drop the dice. So he drops them and the dice fall and they roll and they roll and they roll until the dice land on 3. Finally, Jumanji is finished. Van Pelt shoots Ellen.
No!
And just before the bullet puts an 8th hole in Ellen's head, everything gets sucked back into Jumanji. The monkeys, the lion, the stampede, the forest, the crack in the house, even Van Pelt, even time itself, all of it gets sucked back into Jumanji.
Ooh, wow! Wait, what?
Yes, because now we're back to when Ellen and Sarah were kids and Ellen's dad comes back and tells him he loves him.
What about Judy and Peter?
Oh, we'll see them again after 26 years when Ellen and Sarah are adults.
Daddy, I'm confused.
So am I.
So, Daddy, do they bury Jumanji deep underground so no one can ever find it again?
No, they throw it in the river.
I hope no one ever finds it again.
Good night, my boy. Give Daddy kisses.
Night, Daddy.
Night, my boy. Daddy loves you. peas. Alright, cool. So Matilda's this girl, right? She's born in a hospital surrounded by all the other baby children in pink and blue cots. Although after a few years, some of them will no longer identify as pink or blue. Daddy, what do you get when you mix pink and blue? A rainbow! So after Matilda's born, the nurse shows it to her dad and he's like, ugh, disgusting, and walks away. Kinda like me when they cut you out of your mommy's tummy. What was that like, Daddy? So as Matilda's parents leave the hospital, they reminisce about the beauty of childbirth before they carefully throw Matilda in the back of a wagon where she meets her lovely older brother. But Daddy, that doesn't seem safe. What if she falls out? Ah, son, this was back in the 90s, my boy. The laws of physics didn't exist back then, so there were no laws at all. So they finally get home from the hospital, then go inside the house, leaving Matilda to spend time alone in the car. Daddy, did they forget Matilda alone in the car? These things happen, my boy. I once accidentally forgot you in an aeroplane. So Matilda turns 4 and she's learned to take care of herself because during the day her brother goes to school, her dad goes to sell cars, and her mom goes to bingo. Daddy, what's bingo? And does this mean Matilda gets left alone all day? Bingo is basically old people gambling, and yes, she gets left alone all day long. I wish you and mom could do that. I have so many plans. Never! Anyway, Matilda's like 4 and she can do awesome stuff like make herself breakfast while dancing to All the Way, boop 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 boop, all the way, boop 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 boop, all the way. So later that evening, Matilda asks her dad for a book and he's like, ugh, reading, watch TV. So the next day, Matilda decides to go to the library by herself. How did she find the library, Daddy? This was the 90s. She found it in the Yellow Pages. Duh. Daddy, what's the Yellow Pages? Duh. Holy Lord. It's this book that has your name, number, address in alphabetical order. This book would get sent to millions of people. So Daddy, you're telling me that in the 90s there was a book with your name and phone number and address in alphabetical order for millions of people to see? Yes. So if you owed a drug dealer money and he wanted to find you, he could find you in the Yellow Pages? Yes. Wow! The 90s were crazy. So Matilda starts going to the library by herself, and eventually the librarian is like, Matilda, honey, get yourself a library card and stop coming here every day. The predators are gonna get you and you're gonna get me fired. So she gets one and starts reading that outside of school. Why isn't she in school, Daddy? You're about to find out, my boy. So one evening, Matilda's dad catches her reading and he's like, ugh, books. Disgusting. And Matilda says, I want to go to school, Daddy. And he's like, but you're 4. And she tells him she's 6, but he refuses to believe her, so he drags her to her mom, and her mom is like, you're 5, darling. Also, Matilda's dad tells her that she can't go to school because he needs her to bring the packages inside the house. I like Matilda's parents. I hate school. Shame. The next day, Matilda's dad decides to teach her brother Michael how to flip cars by buying them for like $1,000 and selling them for like $7,000. Daddy, that's like a 700% increase. Genius. So after that, her dad shouts at her for being a genius. She starts playing pranks on her dad. Pranks like what, Daddy? Well, I'm not telling you. I know you. You're dedicated to a life of mischief, boy. Come on, Daddy. I'd never. Fine. So Daddy Wormwood takes the kids to the shop where he shows them his expert craftsmanship, like using super glue for bumpers, using cheap child labor to put those bumpers onto the cars, and sawdust to make noisy engines quiet, as well as other stuffs. But Daddy, that's wrong. Yeah, exactly. Matilda tells him, Daddy, you're a criminal, I tell ya. And her daddy's like, I'm big, you're smart, you're little, I'm dumb. And her mom shows up and she's like, Zwollen, I won the jackpot. Papa, I'm a millionaire. And they go out to eat. While this is happening, Matilda puts super glue inside her dad's hat. Super glue in dad's hat. Now at the restaurant, Matilda's mom tries to rip the hat off and they fall, and Matilda's dad bumps into the waiter and he goes flying, and all the food gets flung into the air and a pie lands perfectly on Matilda's plate, and it goes splat all over Matilda's brother's face. So that evening, Matilda's dad catches her reading a book again and he's like, ugh, books, disgusting, book make me angry, grrr, watch TV, ha ha ha. And Matilda gets mad and then boom, TV blows up. Wow! What made the TV blow up, Daddy? The power of magic. So the next day, Matilda's dad sells a car to a lady who runs an elementary school, and he arranges for Matilda to start going there. So now Tilda's excited. She's finally going to big school. The following morning, her dad drops her off at dusty elementary where all the kids play in the dust. But what about all the kids with asthma, Daddy? Psh. This was the 90s, my boy. We had tough lungs because grown-ups could smoke anyway. We had lungs of steel. You think a little dust is gonna stop us? Anyway, while the kids play in the dust, out comes a dark force that will strike fear into your heart. Miss Trunchbull, the deranged, crazy school principal who absolutely hates children. But Daddy, why is she a principal if she hates children? Same reason people become politicians, my boy. Anyway, Miss Trunchbull comes out and the children stand at attention like soldiers. She walks through them, dishing out detention and insults left, right, and most importantly, center. She sounds mean, Daddy. So Matilda goes and hides inside a wall where she meets her new friend, Lavender. But a bigger girl tells him to get out because Miss Trunchbull is gonna find her. Oh no! So the bigger girl tells him the story of how a boy was eating 2 M&Ms in class and Miss Trunchbull caught him. And you know what she did? What did she do, Daddy? She grabbed him, lifted him up, and threw him out of a window. Daddy, I don't think Miss Trunchbull is a nice lady. And she's got this tiny room called the Chokey. Daddy, will those kids grow up traumatized severely? Anyway, Miss Trunchbull finally sets her sights on Pigtail Girl. Miss Trunchbull goes up to her and tells her that she hates her pigtails and grabs Pigtail Girls by the pigtails and swings her around and around and around and throws her into the sky over the gate, and she falls and falls and she almost hits the gate, but she just missed the gate and glides effortlessly onto the floor into the flower. But Daddy, what about gravity? Told you, my boy, this was the 90s. There were no laws back then, not even the law of gravity. Wow! So now we meet Miss Honey, Matilda's absolutely lovely teacher who has very unsettling relationships with little girls now that I think about it. So while Miss Honey is taking the kids through basic multiplication, she discovers Matilda's a genius and Miss Honey just stares at Matilda like, whew.
Matilda, you know how to multiply.
Learn mathematics at the library.
You like to read?
Oh, yes. I love to read.
What do you like to read?
Dolls, chickens. Charles Dickens.
I'll be back in a moment.
Anyway, so after staring at Matilda, Miss Honey runs out of class to cool off, and afterwards she goes to Miss Trunchbull's office to tell her that Matilda's a bright girl and she must go to another class. But Miss Trunchbull says,
I knew it. You can't handle the little viper, so you're trying to foist her off on one of the other teachers.
later that evening, Miss Honey shows up at Matilda's house and her dad is like, ugh, education, disgusting. Miss Honey tells Matilda's parents that Tilda needs private instruction to get into college. But Matilda's mom says, you chose books? I chose looks. And boy, do I agree, because she's one smoking hot mama. Is she hotter than mommy? Boy, don't you know? No one's hotter than your mommy. Anyway, the next morning, Miss Trunchbull calls the entire school to the hall where she calls up Bruce Bogtrotter. Why, Daddy? Because Miss Trunchbull's about to make him eat a huge slice of cake in front of the whole school. I like Miss Trunchbull. So Bruce finishes the slice of cake, and guess what Miss Trunchbull does next? She dumps a huge cake in front of him and forces him to finish it all. The cake was enormous. It could feed a whole city. Blech. That would make me sick, Daddy. So did Bruce eat all of it? He tried, but then all the other kids start cheering him on. They start cheering him and cheering him. You can do it, Bruce! And that was all the motivation he needed, because Bruce ate the entire cake all by himself. Everybody in the school was so excited. Yay! Then Miss Trunchbull smashes the glass tray over his head and gives everyone 5 hours of detention after school. Later that evening, Matilda arrives home and her dad screams at her because she wasn't home to bring the packages inside the house. She was in detention. Exactly. So the next day, Matilda and her friends find a newt, and while they're playing and chilling at school, Miss Trunchbull arrives and she's mad because Matilda's dad sold her a terrible piece of rubbish car, so she throws Matilda into the Chokey. That's unfair, Daddy. So while Miss Honey undoes Pigtail Girl's pigtails, the entire class is in a panic trying to hide anything colorful because Miss Trunchbull is coming. Lavender pours the newt into a jug and in walks the devil herself. Miss Honey abandons her class to go save her beloved Matilda, and when they return, Suge Knight is shaking down a kid for some money. But Daddy, she has a house and a car. Yes! Anyway, Suge asks Pigtail Girl to spell difficulty, and Pigtail Girl sings Mrs. D, Mrs. I, Mrs. F, F, Y, Mrs. He, Mrs. Who, Mrs. Ha, ha, ha. And Miss Trunchbull shouts,
Why are all these women married?
then Miss Trunchbull takes a sip of water, but then she looks, and what does she see? Skater Boy Rock and a BAM TV. That joke is old now. Whatever. So while Miss Trunchbull is yelling at Matilda, Matilda uses her Menjink powers to flip the cup over, and the newt lands on her, and Miss Trunchbull is like... The whole class is laughing and laughing. Miss Trunchbull leaves and Matilda tells Miss Honey, it was me. I used my great Menjink. And Miss Honey's like, lies, Matilda. Show me. And Matilda's like, Like Goku! Yes, but in her head. So Miss Honey asked Matilda, Matilda, would you like to come over to my house? But Daddy, that's not allowed. And don't you forget it, boy. So they walk to her house, but first they pass by Miss Trunchbull's house. And Miss Honey tells her the story of a little girl who used to live in that house, but her mommy died. So the mommy's stepsister came to live with them, but then her daddy also died, so now she was left with the mother's evil stepsister. Who is that? Miss Trunchbull. Oh no! So they keep walking until they get to Miss Honey's cottage, and that's when Matilda not only realizes that the little girl in the story was Miss Honey, but also Miss Trunchbull is Matilda's mummy. Auntie. So Miss Honey cries while she's telling the story. And Daddy, was Miss Trunchbull mean to Miss Honey as a kid? I don't know, we always see her smiling with Miss Honey as a kid. Does she smile with the other kids? No, she's always mean and horrible to them. Daddy, what if Miss Trunchbull was always smiling with Miss Honey because she was doing something else to Miss Honey, something that she didn't do to the other children? Maybe. My boy, that was dark. Anyway, after a spot of tea, they head back and see Miss Trunchbull leaving her house, and they hide from her. But Miss Trunchbull is violently attacked by a wild beast. What animal was it, Daddy? This, my boy, was the real deal. Dagger-clawed, child-eating, man-loving, meat-loving kitten. So after Miss Trunchbull leaves, Matilda sneaks into her house to get Miss Honey's Matilda doll back. But Miss Trunchbull's car breaks down, so she lifts her car in the air and carries it home. Daddy, that's impossible. Cars are heavy. She does! I promise you! Miss Trunchbull gave her car a lift on the way home. But Daddy, Matilda and Miss Honey are still inside the house. What if she finds them there? They have to hide because she's in a terrible mood, screaming at Matilda's dad over the phone when she notices that her chocolate box is still open. Ew, Daddy, that sounds nasty. She goes over to it and she's like, sniff, sniff. Humans. And like a bloodhound, she goes running around the house looking for the intruders. She almost catches Matilda, but she manages to hide under a table. So Miss Trunchbull takes a break from hunting for intruders to eat a slice of cake. Yummy, but why, Daddy? So Miss Honey shuts the door and Miss Trunchbull is like, sniff, sniff. Humans. Chases them down to the basement, but it's too late. They have escaped. She probably shouldn't have stopped for a chocolate cake break. Exactly. After getting away, Matilda says that they should wait until Miss Trunchbull leaves so they can go back. Daddy, Matilda is crazy. Thanks for stating the obvious, my boy. Now Matilda gets home and her mom is entertaining Sheldon and Leonard, but Matilda tells her that they're cops, and her mom is like, no, they're not. They're speedboat salesmen. Then her dad comes home and he's spitting mad because his wife is entertaining these men. He screams at her, and this is when Matilda realizes that every time someone screams at her, she's able to use her powers, and she slams the door into her daddy's face. Daddy, one day I'm gonna slam the door in your face. This is not America, boy. Over here, we. So Matilda's having an awesome day getting used to her powers. She's dancing while everything is flying around her. It's a magical scene. So Daddy, are you saying that Matilda can control hundreds of things all at once? What kind of magic is this? Then Matilda looks outside and sees Sheldon and Leonard, the speedboat salesman cops, sneaking around the house. So she goes outside to confront them. Ooh, they're in big trouble. So what does Matilda do to them? Sheldon spots a box he wants to investigate, but every time he climbs the ladder, Matilda moves the box to the other side. So he goes down, moves the ladder, climbs up again, and when he looks, Matilda has already shifted the box to the other side, and then he goes down, and then he moves to the other side, and he climbs up, and he looks, and the box is gone, and Matilda does it over and over again. It's so hilarious. Then Matilda tells him, you're not allowed here. I read it in a book once. And then she uses her magic to release the car's handbrake, and the car goes rolling down the road. And Sheldon and Leonard run off to the car, but she uses her magic for one more thing. She steals their VHS tape. Daddy, what's a VHS tape? And also, if she did that, doesn't that mean Matilda tampered with police evidence, an act in which an individual alters, conceals, falsifies, or destroys evidence with the intent to interfere with an investigation by law enforcement, governmental, or regulatory authority? A criminal offense punishable by 2 to 15 years in jail? My boy's a genius. I guess Matilda didn't read that. So later that night, Matilda prepares to leave and go to Miss Trunchbull's house to steal Miss Honey's doll back. Doesn't anyone try to stop her? Her brother tries his absolute best by flinging a carrot at her, but she uses her power to stop the carrot and shot it back at him. Sisters are mean. Yep, I fully agree. Your auntie was a meanie. But Daddy, auntie says you were an irritating big brother. Silence! Now Matilda arrives at the house where we see Miss Trunchbull eating a chocolate with the wrapper on, because that's how normal people eat chocolate. But Daddy, you said if you ate with the wrapper on, I wouldn't have been made.
Yeah, boy.
So Matilda climbs on the roof of Miss Trunchbull's house and begins her devious master plan to steal Miss Honey's Matilda doll back. But the wind blows the Matilda doll into a tree. Oh no! But through the power of deep concentration, Matilda finally gets the doll back. But this isn't the end for Matilda. Oh no. no. What does she do next, Daddy? Revenge. First, she steals 2 chocolate, although I don't know why she didn't just take all of it. It's chocolate, for goodness sake. If you're gonna steal, be like a politician and steal everything. Second, she makes the clock move and fast forward. Third, she moves the chair and Miss Trunchbull falls flat on her bum. Fourth, she interferes with electrical infrastructure by making the wires go whoop 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 whoop. Fifth, she blew the windows open. Sixth, she uses her menging to take down Miss Trunchbull's painting and throws it into the fire. Seventh, she sends the shot put balls tumbling down the stairs. Eighth, she moves Magnus's painting to the top of the wall and Miss Trunchbull was like,
Nope.
but just as Miss Trunchbull was about to get the hell out of Dodge, she comes across a red ribbon. Sniff, sniff, human. But Matilda was wearing her red ribbon. Miss Trunchbull is gonna remember. The next day, Matilda arrives at school and Miss Honey's waiting for her. Daddy, why is she only waiting for Matilda? Doesn't she teach other children? I wish I had an answer for you, my boy. I know it looks wrong, but trust me, I watched Matilda when I was a kid. Miss Honey can do no wrong. She is perfect. So Matilda tells her that she went to Miss Trunchbull's house and she stole the doll and the chocolate, and Miss Honey's like, then bang! Miss Trunchbull shows up. Oh no, she's gonna kill everyone! On the contrary, my boy, she saunters over in a good mood and tells Miss Honey,
I will be teaching your class today.
So later on in class, Miss Honey says, Matilda, you promised me you wouldn't go back to Agatha's house. And Matilda's like, I didn't, I used my magic. And Matilda makes a jug float and Miss Honey's like, Patung, Matilda! And Matilda says, watch this. Boom, 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 boom. But then Miss Trunchbull walks in and she screams, get against the wall, you cod-waggling snazzle-wagglers! She's so scary, Daddy! She checks the water, no Newton. Get it? Get it? No Newton? So now she's walking around, pushing tables and chairs against the wall like a Spartan. And she asks, whose ribbon is this? And the kids are like, we ain't no snitches. Snitches get stitches. Snitches sleep with the fishes. Miss Trunchbull gets really mad and she yells at the entire class and Miss Honey's like, leave Matilda alone. And Miss Trunchbull grabs her arm and Miss Honey says,
I am not 7 years old anymore, Aunt Trunchbull.
But then Miss Trunchbull grabs Matilda, so Matilda uses her menging to write a message from Magnus on the chalkboard. And then the dusters attack and beat up Miss Trunchbull and everyone is laughing at her and then she falls down dead. Then the kids lean over to check for signs of life. Surprise, bitches! I'm still alive! All hail the Queen of England! And she grabs Timothy Bogtroggle and throws him out of the window. Oh no! You don't listen to me, boy. I told you, this was the 90s. We had no laws of physics, so Bogtroggle flies around and around and around back inside, pushing Miss Trunchbull over and Godzilla crushes Japan. She spins around and around and around and straight into a concussion. Then she gets up and tries to tackle the Zelda, but Matilda hoists her up and Miss Trunchbull crashes through the door into the hallway. Defeated, she lays on the floor, but the kids show her no mercy as they throw food in her face. She runs away from them, but just as she thinks she got away, the whole school is ready to attack. They throw everything at her. We're talking banana. Bruce Bogtrotters like, eat shit, bitch. The kids of Dusty Elementary chase Miss Trunchbull and they celebrate in the dust, for Miss Trunchbull is gone, never to be seen again. Yay! So what happens next, Daddy? Oh, such a happy ending. Miss Honey moves back into her father's house where she's chilling with Matilda. Daddy, would you let me go to my teacher's house alone? Never! How come Matilda goes to her teacher's house alone? Cause, my boy, Miss Honey and Matilda's relationship is not okay. So while they're drinking tea, Matilda's parents come to get her because they're moving to Guam. But then Matilda's like, I don't want to go to Guantanamo Bay, Mommy. I want to stay here. Miss Honey, adopt me. Matilda's mom says, no one wants you, you filthy animal. And Miss Honey's like,
Oh, she's a spectacularly wonderful child and I love her.
Daddy, I know Matilda's parents are horrible, but Miss Honey makes me uncomfortable. I don't blame you, my boy. Miss Honey's giving off weird vibes. Anyway, luckily Matilda keeps a set of adoption papers with her at all times, just in case a moment like this comes up. Daddy, that's crazy. Her parents would never agree to this. So they sign the forms and they're like, enjoy your life with your creepy new teacher. Wormwood's out. Wow. And Matilda and Miss Honey spend the rest of their lives frolicking in the fields. And skipping. And swinging. And knitting. And hula hooping. And rollerblading. And eating chocolate. And bedtime stories. And that's about it. So boy, what lesson do you learn from this movie about your daddy? And what? And what the? This child. Yay! Boy, how dare you? The deception, the betrayal. You deceived me. Now I take you down.
William will finally beat his daddy. Will Death Strength show him who's boss? Find out the next time after you subscribe.
So the movie begins, right? So all these beautiful African animals are waking up and traveling from far and wide across the plains. We talk animals like this one and that one and the mighty Springboks. They're all going to Pride Rock. You know why? They're going to see Simba. Yes, they're going to see their future king. So Daddy, the animals went to Africa's first gender reveal party. Behold, my son's comedic humor. So Rafiki comes through, puts some sunblock on Simba and walks to the end. He walks, and right when he's standing on the precipice of Pride Rock, he hoists Simba into the air. And all of the animals are like, yay! All hail the new king! All hail the new king! All hail the new king! Daddy, you know what they were singing? Oh, I just can't wait to be eaten by you! Boy, I see my humor's hereditary. So Zazu visits Scar, Mufasa's younger brother. But Daddy, don't only older lions have dark manes? Doesn't that mean Scar is the older brother and that he should be king? Did they skip Scar because he's bland? Yes, he is so boring, so bland. Mufasa has gravitas. So Zazu's like, ooh, you in trouble? Mufasa's mad at you. And Scar eats Zazu. No, Daddy. Mufasa comes in and says, drop him. Blech. Mufasa confronts Scar about missing Simba's coronation, and Scar's like, forgive me, sire, for missing that little hairball's gender reveal. It's like your 15th one this year. And Mufasa says, that hairball is my son and your future king. Daddy, that's what you said to my teacher.
Wow, your son has so much hair.
That hairball is my son and your future president. So one morning, Mufasa's fast asleep with his wife and 19 concubines when Simba wakes him up the way you wake me up on a Saturday morning, because I'll never understand how you wake up at 7:30 on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but come Saturday and Sunday. Daddy, 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 wake up. Daddy, 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 wake up. So Mufasa shows Simba the whole kingdom and he says, Simba, everything the light touches is our kingdom. One day, this will be yours. So Daddy, the animals are not allowed to choose a leader. Are you asking about democracy in Africa, my boy? We don't do that over here. Why would a lion want to give up its power? So Simba asks, what about the dark place, Daddy? Mufasa says, that's beyond our borders. That's the ghetto. You must never go there. Daddy, there's no food or water or anything there. Is that why Mufasa keeps all the black animals there? That's wrong, Daddy. I hope Simba will be a better king. Oh boy. Zira, you and your young cub, get out. Simba, you have banished us to this place where there is no food, no water, nothing. Well, if you worked hard enough and stopped being lazy, then maybe you wouldn't be so poor. But Simba, you didn't work for any of this. You became king just by being born. Silence! So they go for a walk and Mufasa explains the circle of life. What's that, Daddy? The circle of life works like this. The lions eat the gazelles, and then when the lions die, they turn into grass, and the gazelle eat the grass. That, my boy, is the circle of life. Oh. Okay. So Zazu shows up with the morning snitch report, and Mufasa takes this as an opportunity to teach Simba how to deal with snitches. He tells Zazu to face the execution position and Rawr! Simba attacks Zazu! Yes! Zazu gets attacked by a lion for the second time. So one of Zazu's informants pops out of nowhere and he's like, Zazu, news from the underground. The black animals have broken into the Pride Lands and they're stealing food. And Mufasa runs off because he's mad. But Daddy, Mufasa says we must respect the delicate balance of life. Doesn't that mean that hyenas must hunt? So later on, Simba visits Scar and he's like, hey Scar, guess what? I'm gonna be king. What will that make you? A monkey's uncle. Yes. So Simba laughs and he's like, you're so weird, Scar. And Scar says, you have no idea. Daddy, is Scar gay? So Scar's like, so your father showed you the whole kingdom. He didn't take you to the hood, did he? And Simba's like, it's too dangerous. And Scar replies, and he's absolutely right. It's far, far too dangerous. Only the bravest go there.
And then Simba says, I wanna go, I'm brave. Scar's like, just because you like hip-hop doesn't mean you have to go where it's made, Simba. Don't go there because the trippy baby lives at number 532 Inglewood Avenue. Oops! Oh dear, I've said too much. Simba, promise me you won't take the 430 bus that goes right past little Trippy's house in the hood. So Simba runs to go fetch Nala, but she's in the middle of a bath and Simba's mom tries to give him a bath as well. Like when mummy drops me off at school and she licks her finger and wipes my face. But Simba's mom sends Snitchy the bird with them. Snitchy tells him that one day they're gonna get married and they're both like, Blech, I'm never gonna get married. So then Simba starts to sing the death song. Daddy, what's the death song? So Simba and Nala managed to escape from Snitchy the bird. But Daddy, doesn't it seem like a silly plan because all that Zazu needs to do is fly high up and he'll see them? This boy. Anyway, so Simba and Nala play fight and they accidentally end up in the hood. So Simba runs off to explore. Wrong! As Zazu blocks him and tells him that they're in serious danger. And then Simba was like, I laugh in the face of danger. Ha 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 ha. Hyenas come out, what you doing here? Fool. And brave Simba hides behind Nala while Zazu protects them from the scary hyenas. Wait, you must be Mufasa's little snitch. They try to run off but the hyenas give chase. Zazu's caught and they shove him in a pot of boiling whatever and hyenas laugh and laugh. Why don't you take on someone your own size? Growl, the hyenas attack. Simba leaves Nala for dead. Simba, brother, help me! Rah. Simba swipes a hyena and they run into a cave where they find themselves trapped. Oh no! Rawr, rawr, rawr. The hyenas laugh at him. Oh, wait, that's it. Do it again. Mufasa comes through, kicking hyena ass left, right, center, and most important, taking names, and he's like, if you ever come near my son again. Daddy, that's what you said to the doctor last week. Okay, boy, this won't hurt. If you ever come near my son again, how dare he? Anyway, the hyenas run away. You deliberately disobeyed me. Mufasa yells at Simba and Nala's like, pathetic. I thought you were brave. And let that be a lesson to you, boy. Women only love the bravest men. But Daddy, what if Nala said that because she was really impressed that Simba came back to save her and Zazu? Yeah. So on the walk home, Mufasa tells Zazu to take Nala home because he has to teach Simba a lesson. And Zazu's like, Simba, good luck. This is Africa. You deliberately disobeyed me, Mufasa says. But I want to be brave just like you. You're never scared. Mufasa says, I was afraid I might lose you. And now that I'm a dad, it's my biggest fear too. Oh, I love you, Daddy. I'll make sure nothing happens to you. Nothing will happen to you because no one messes with you. Daddy! So they're frolicking in the fields and Mufasa tells Simba about the great kings of the past in the stars. And they will always be there to guide Simba. So we go back to the hood where Bone Thugs and Scar hatched a plan to kill Mufasa because the hyenas are starving. Is it because Mufasa kicked them out, Daddy? Interrupt us! So Scar throws them a thick thigh to save their lives and thus begins the greatest villain song of all time. Bone Thugs and Scarmony. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Be prepared. Get up, get up, get up. So what must they be prepared for, Daddy? For the death of the king. Just what Simba wanted. Then Daddy, who will be the king?
I will be king.
If you vote for me, all of your wildest dreams will come true.
Puffs of green smoke are coming from the ground. Scar is sexy. Scar commands the fire lava with his voice. He's jumping from rock to rock while hyena butts are in our faces. He's talking about meticulous planning. Something learning. And see him for the wonder he is. So the next day, Scar and Simba are hanging out in the gorge, and Scar tells Simba, I have a surprise for you. Simba's impatient. He wants to know what it is right now. But Scar tells him to wait and not get in trouble like he did with the hyenas. Daddy, how does Scar know? Was he there the whole time?
Near my son again.
So Scar tells Simba to work on his pathetic little roar and he leaves and he puts his plan into action. So now we catch up with the hyenas as they get rid of Daddy, wait a minute. You said Mufasa banned the hyenas because they were over hunting. But look, there are millions of animals. Scar gives the hyenas a signal. Growl! They attack the herd. Oh no! The herd stampedes down the gorge. Mufasa! Stampede by the gorge. Simba's down there. While Simba's running for his life, Mufasa runs down to the gorge. Simba's trapped in the stampede, but Mufasa leaps into action to try and save Simba. Zazu panic tackles Scar. Mufasa runs against the stampede. Ooh! He gets knocked out. A wildebeest crashes through the tree. Simba goes flying, but Mufasa catches him and puts him safely on a ledge, but gets taken away by the stampede. Dad! The stampede rolls by. Simba looks out, no sign of Mufasa anyway. Roar! He lands as he begins climbing up the near vertical cliff. That's impossible, Daddy. Nothing's impossible for Mufasa. So Mufasa climbs to the top of the cliff. Scar, brother, help me! Scar grabs Mufasa. Long live the king. Scar throws Mufasa off the cliff. The stampede passes by. Simba's looking everywhere for his daddy. Daddy, Daddy, where are you? Where are you? Mufasa lays there, dead. No, Daddy, wake up, wake up, wake up. We have to go home. Simba, confused and devastated, cuddles under his father's arm and, Daddy, are you crying? No, that's just eye water. So Scar comes through and he's like, Simba, murderer, run away and never return. Simba runs, kill him. The hyenas run after Simba. Growl! Simba escapes their clutches and jumps down a steep mountainside. The hyenas jump after him. Simba falls into the thorns and the hyenas are like, nope! Tigers! If you come back, we're gonna kill you! Back at Pride Rock, Scar holds a memorial for Mufasa and Simba as he introduces the ladies of Pride Rock to a new era, where lion and hyena come together in a great and glorious future. Daddy, was Scar sharing the wealth of the Pride lands with everyone? Well, technically, yes. Daddy, who exactly is the good king in the story? So the next day, Simba's nearly eaten by vultures, but he's saved by a meerkat named Timon and a warthog named Pumbaa, who tried to cheer him up by singing Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful phrase. Daddy, what happened when Pumbaa was a young warthog?
When he was a young warthog,
Daddy, was he ashamed?
he was ashamed.
Did he change his name?
Short of changing his name,
Did he feel downhearted?
and he got downhearted.
So after welcoming Simba to their beautiful home, Simba tells them he's hungry. They introduce him to the world of eating bugs, green bugs, blue bugs, big bugs, slimy bugs. Daddy, Simba asked if they have zebra or antelope. Did Simba eat the animals that came to celebrate his birth?
Good question.
So they start walking across this extremely long log. It's so long that Simba is a grown-up lion by the time they get to the end of the log. Hakuna Matata, Hakuna Matata. So back at Pride Rock, the British are hanging out. Zazu is in the chokey because no one trusts snitches. When he accidentally says Mufasa and Scar yells, never mention that name again. I am the captain now. Daddy, is that because Scar was jealous of the hyenas earlier?
Yes, Mufasa had gravitas.
Anyway, so the hyenas come in and tell Scar that ever since they voted for him, he hasn't delivered on any of his promises. There's no food, no water, no rain, no sun, no clouds, nothing. And Scar's like, this is a woman problem, and he chases them out. So Simba, Timon, and Pumbaa are busy getting stoned while staring at the sky, asking questions like, ever wonder what those sparkly dots are up there? Timon says, the fireflies stuck on that big blue black thing. And Pumbaa's like, damn, I thought they were big balls of gas burning billions of miles away. Oh no! They ask Simba what he thinks, and he tells them they are great kings of the past in the sky watching over them. And Timon and Pumbaa are like, Simba leaves them and collapses, and that wind carries his essence, which Rafiki catches. Sniff, sniff, fly. And he does a jungle DNA test to check who it is. So Timon and Pumbaa are walking through the jungle. Pumbaa wanders off because he's hunting a bug, but the hunter becomes the hunted as he gets viciously attacked by a big scary lion. And this is not some Disney vegetarian lion. Oh, no. This is the real deal, big teeth, dagger-clawed, pig-eating, meat-loving lion. So Pumbaa's running for his life when he gets trapped under a log and he screams, she's gonna eat my thunder thigh! Timon tries to push Pumbaa, but it's too late. Nala leaps. Roar! Simba comes to the rescue. They fight, tearing each other limb from limb. They roll and Nala lands on top. The perfect position. And surprise, surprise, they know each other. Who are you? It's me, Simbizzle. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god! And Simba says, hey Pumbaa, come meet the lady that almost ate you. Nala's so excited. She even reminds Simba that he's the rightful king. Why, Daddy? Because he was born. Yes. And Simba says, I don't want to be king. And Timon's like, let me get this straight. Your dad is the CEO of Apple, and you don't want to take over? And Simba's like, I don't want that kind of responsibility. Hakuna Matata. So Simba and Nala go off to talk alone, and you know what that leads to? What, Daddy? They felt the love tonight. So they can't believe they're together again. They go running around, rolling down the hills where Simba, a focused gent, finally pins Nala, and she gives Simba the look. What look, Daddy?
You know.
So post-lion fornication, Nala does that thing that the other gender does so well. What's that, Daddy? They start asking way too many questions. Simba, why didn't you come back? We need you. What does this make us? Blah, 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 blah. Simba's like, give me a break, woman. I need my nap after that. But Nala won't let up and they get into a huge fight. You see, my son, we grown-ups call this post-nut clarity. Daddy, what's post-nut clarity? After you eat peanuts, they help you see better. Anyway, Nala's words sting as Simba runs off and he's like, it's my fault. And he gets irritated by this annoying monkey. Speaking of which, can I tell you a secret, my boy? Something I've never told anyone before. What's that, Daddy? Shh, come here. Simba asks him what it means, and Rafiki tells him, it means you are a baboon. Daddy, that's what Scar said. Astute observation, my boy. So Rafiki tells Simba, I know who you are. You're Mufasa's boy. Peace, nigga. Rafiki leads Simba on a wild chase through a spooky jungle. Stop! Shh. Look how. Simba looks into the water, and what does he see? Skater boy rocking the BAM TV. Ah, that joke again, Daddy. So what did Simba see? He saw his mad dad looking at him. Simba looks up. Simba, you've deliberately disobeyed me. Go back home. But I can't go back. Remember who you are. You are my son. That's all you need to succeed. Remember. And then Rafiki hits Simba on the head. Yes! And Simba runs back home. The next morning, Nala gently wakes Timon and Pumbaa up to find out where Simba went, but Rafiki tells them that Simba has returned. Timon asks, who's the monkey? Nala tells them Simba's gone back to face his uncle, and Timon's like, the monkey's his uncle, Daddy? That's what Scar and Rafiki said. Exactly! So Simba's running through the desert heat, filled with motivation and determination to take back what belongs to him. But as Simba arrives, everything's been destroyed. There's no food, water, no vegetation, nothing. Just the way Mother Nature intended. Boy, this is Scar's fault. But Daddy, how do hyenas and lions start fires? Clearly you haven't watched Lion King 2 yet. So while Simba's in complete disbelief, Nala, Timon and Pumbaa arrive. Thus, Simba's Avengers assemble to take down Scar. Awesome! Timon and Pumbaa create a distraction for Simba and Nala to sneak in. Sarabi! Where is my food, woman? And Sarabi tells him, the herds have moved on, Scar. You see, Daddy, it wasn't Scar's fault. Pah! Scar backhands Sarabi. Roar! Mufasa! No! Simba runs down to his mother. Daddy, Scar was really scarred by the hyena's fear of Mufasa. Every time somebody says his name, he goes crazy. And now Scar's mad at the hyenas for not killing Simba. Daddy, Scar should have been there to make sure that the hyenas finish the job. Exactly, my boy. So Simba confronts Scar and tells him to return the kingdom and orders him to step down as king. But the problem is, the hyenas prefer Scar more as king because he allowed them to eat. I guess so. Anyway, Scar plays his final card by exposing Simba's darkest secrets. Who was responsible for Mufasa's death? And Simba says, it was me. And Simba's mommy says, it's not true. Tell me it's not true. He admits it. Murderer, it's your fault. It's your fault. Do you deny it? Then you're guilty. Scar interrogates Simba and pushes him over Pride Rock, and lightning strikes, causing a huge fire. Daddy, you see, I told you the Pride Lands weren't destroyed by Scar and the hyenas. They were destroyed by Mother Nature. My boy is a genius. Anyway, while Simba's hanging over the ledge, Scar confesses, I killed Mufasa. Murderer! And Scar's like, Simba, I was just playing. You know how we joke. You know how we be playing. Ah! Simba strangles Scar and forces the confession out of him. I killed Mufasa. And so begins the biggest lion and hyena fight ever. Timon and Pumbaa are knocking hyenas out. Simba's getting mauled by hyenas, but the Tam Panther is saved by Uncle Rafiki with his killer kung fu kick, kicking the crap out of crusty hyenas. You die! Hyenas are falling to their deaths into the fire, and Timon gets chased into the choky with Zazu, but they get saved by Pumbaa. Daddy, are you talking to me? Yes, I am, my boy. Are you talking to me? Who else do you think I'm talking to? They call me Mr. Pig. Ah! Simba sees Scar running away and he chases after him. Murderer. But Simba, I am family. It's all the hyenas' fault. And the hyenas are like, okay, we're gonna get you. Simba tells Scar, run away and never return. Wow, Daddy, Simba is so trusting. Yes, but without warning, he throws some ash in Simba's face and attacks. And thus begins the greatest fight in movie history.
Let's get ready to
Backflips into the Pride Rock. What did Scar expect, Daddy? So Scar falls all the way to the ground where the hyenas eat him up. Wow. But Daddy, that's not very smart. Because if the hyenas kill Scar, doesn't that mean that they are fighting for Simba, who will banish them back to that horrible place? So after the fight, it finally rains and Simba roars and he's finally the king of Pride Rock. Daddy, did it rain because Simba was the king, or was it because it was the end of the drought? I'm never watching Lion King with you again. Daddy, I love you. I love you too, my boy.
Alright, cool. So the movie begins, right? Marlin's this fish, right? Do you remember what kind of fish he is? Clownfish. Yes. So Marlin's got this new crib, right? It's got like 1,000 bedrooms. And he's like, I'm the man. I'm the man. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Who are you kissing? I'm copying the fish in the background, Daddy.
Anyway, so they're swimming around their new house all excited when Coral goes outside. Follow me. Marlin swims after her. Oh no, the whole neighborhood has vanished. Nemo's mom is staring into the eyes of a gigantic murder barracuda. Daddy, didn't Nemo's dad check out the crime statistics before buying the house?
Are you the criminals from the statistics?
Excellent question, my child. So Marlin says, get back inside the house, but she doesn't listen and the barracuda attacks, forcing Nemo's dad to execute the 5-fin figure tag attack. You die! Daddy, Nemo's dad is so brave. Just like your daddy. So Nemo's dad gets knocked out, but when he comes to, Daddy, I'm glad you're not in a Disney movie. Why, my child? Otherwise, you'd be dead. Anyway, when Nemo's dad wakes up, everything is gone. His wife and all his baby children, except for one. Daddy, what if Nemo's mom was bored with Nemo's dad because she was in love with the barracuda and she took the kids and went to go live with the barracuda? Why would you think that? Well, Daddy, barracudas don't eat eggs. Also, they don't eat clownfish. Also, Nemo's mom wasn't enough food. Why didn't the barracuda eat Nemo's dad? This changes everything. Anyway, so time passes by and Nemo wakes up his dad. First day of school! So Nemo's dad takes him to the bus stop, extremely paranoid about the big bad world, and he won't let Nemo have any fun. So the seahorse kid says, I'm H2O intolerant, just like how you are allergic to vegetables. Exactly. So the kids get onto this big flat fish, right? It's called a stingray, Daddy. My baby's a genius. So the other dads tell Marlin that the kids are gonna go have fun, and Nemo's dad is like, fun? My son's gonna have fun with other kids? How dare he? Nemo, no! Having fun is against your religion! And Nemo says what every kid whispers to their overbearing religious parents.
I hate you.
Daddy, I hate you. I'm joking, Daddy. I love you. I knew that. Daddy loves you too, my child. So while Marlin's distracted, Nemo swims to touch the big butt. I'ma show you how great I am. He swims and he swims, filled with determination and motivation to reach the boat while his dad screams, don't touch the butt! And Nemo's like, I touch big butts and I cannot lie.
Touch the butt.
But while he's swimming back, he gets fishnapped by a huge human being. Oh no! Flash in his face. Nemo's dad is dazed as he swims after the boat. He swims and he swims, but it's too late. Nemo is gone, never to be seen again. And now that I'm a dad, this is really hard for me to watch. Daddy, what would happen if someone kidnapped me? The movie would be legendary. Anyway, so Marlin is in a complete panic when he bumps into a forgetful fish named Dory. He asks if she's seen a boat. Follow me! They start swimming and swimming. But Dory starts to panic because everywhere she goes, this crazy clownfish keeps following her.
You got a problem, buddy? Huh? Do you?
I make you pick up your teeth with broken bones. Daddy, Dory is crazy. Don't say that. It's offensive to crazy people. So Marlin's like, this crazy woman, and Dory tells her that she has a short-term memory loss. Daddy, how do people remember they have short-term memory loss? I don't know how to answer that, my child. So Marlin leaves Dory. Hello. Mike, says the Aussie shark. Daddy, is the shark the most dangerous animal in Australia? My child, everything in Australia wants to kill you. They have birds that will poke your eyes out, spiders that eat anacondas and eat you to death, crocodiles in swimming pools, and kangaroos that'll punch you in the face, and worst of all, box jellyfish. Daddy, what's a box jellyfish? Let me tell you about the box jellyfish. They're from the jellyfish family. Legend has it that the jellyfish are an ancient species of space alien that was sent to Earth from another planet as a punishment from God. These hateful little devils come from the same planet as the aliens from the War of the Worlds. Just float around the oceans with their long tentacles, zapping everything to death. They have no bone, no spine, no flesh, and the immortal jellyfish lives forever.
Name me Bruce. Alright, I understand. Why trust a shark, right?
Eat them up. Let that be a lesson to you, boy. Never trust a shark. Doesn't matter if it's a lone shark or a baby shark. No, Daddy, he almost ate them. And then he goes, ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. He laughs in Australian. What you doing here, Mike? But Daddy, they're in the ocean. Where else are fish supposed to be? Interesting question, my child. So Bruce tells them, follow me, and invites them to a party with a bunch of other sharks. Marlin's terrified, but never judge a book by its cover because these are nice, friendly sharks. Fish are friends, not food. Exactly. So the sharks are busy making fun of dolphins. But Daddy, Do sharks make fun of killer whales?
Nothing makes fun of killer whales. Killer whales are badass. They are the honey badgers of the open sea.
So the little green fish quickly escapes the shark cult, and Bruce starts to pledge, and Dory goes up and says that she's never eaten a fish, just like your daddy! But daddy, fish is delicious. Ew. So while Marlin gets his turn to speak, he notices the diver's mask and tells them that his son was taken.
Never knew my father.
Marlin and Dory fight over the mask, and Dory gets hurt. Bruce smells the blood and he's like, oh no! Bruce is going crazy, chasing them through the ship, left, right, center. Marlin and Dory trap themselves inside of the room, but this crackhead shark starts repeatedly banging his head against the steel door. Marlin and Dory are trying to find a way to escape. But Bruce is relentless. He'll stop at nothing. He chases them around the ship and into a torpedo launcher thingy. How are they gonna get out, Daddy? Easy. Dory releases the torpedo and Bruce catches it and throws it away, and it lands against a sea mine and boom. Oh wow! Dory is awesome, Daddy. She can read and operate military equipment. Yes. So Nemo gets thrown into a fish tank and is freaking around because he's in a whole new environment. Daddy, is that Buzz Lightyear?
Astute observation, my child.
So Nemo accidentally triggers a box. Nemo's panicking, terrified by absolutely everything, but fortunately for him, all the new fish like him. So the dentist shows Nemo that he's going to be Darla's new pet, and he leaves and, "G'day, mate, I'm going to see a man about Wallaby," or something Australian like that. So Nemo panics and gets caught into a suction thingy, and everyone tries to help, but then comes out the big bad Gil. You can do it. And teaches Nemo how to get himself out. Yay! Back in the ocean, Marlin wakes up and realizes they're in danger. He tries to wake Dory up.
Sea monkey has my money.
The submarine comes crashing down and lodges itself against the cliff face while the mask falls to the bottom of a trench. And Marlin is mad at Dory for dropping the mask. But Daddy, it wasn't her fault. This is true. So Dory says to Marlin,
Hey, Mr. Grumpy Gills. When life gets you down, you know what you gotta do? Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming,
now they're
swimming.
deep in the trench and they cannot see anything. And Dory's like,
Ah! Are you my conscience?
and they see a beautiful light and they go up to it. Wow. Then they start playing with the light.
I'm gonna get you.
When they finally see what it is, it's a big scary anglerfish. The anglerfish gives chase, but while they're swimming, they see the mask. Dory reads the mask while the anglerfish tries to eat Marlin. Daddy, if Dory's the only fish that can read, why do the other fish go to school?
I'll explain that later.
So Marlin fights the big, terrifying fish just as it's about to devour them. Marlin traps it in the mask. Yay!
No eating here tonight. You're on a diet.
And Dory remembers the address. Yes. So later that night, Frenchy says to Nemo, "Follow me, I am French." And Nemo gets invited to a welcoming ceremony. Nemo swims to the top of the bubble volcano to face his greatest challenge ever. He has to swim through. Bubbles get turned on, and with all the might and determination, Nemo swims through the bubbles. And then they call him Shark Bait. Shark Bait! Gil tells everyone his new plan to escape, but they're already kind of tired of his plans that never work out. But Gil has belief. So back in the ocean, Marlin tells Dory to go away, and the school of fish are like,
This guy bothering you.
they ask for directions, and the fish make a Marlin impression. Daddy, which fish was talking? Nobody knows. So Dory asks for directions, and the fish tell her where to go, but with one important warning: to swim over the trench and not under it. So they get to the scary looking trench, and Marlin wants to swim over it, but Dory has a bad feeling and she wants to swim through. Daddy, there's no way Dory forgot so easily. What if she's pretending to be forgetful so that Nemo's dad won't leave her? This child is way smarter than me. Daddy loves his model angel. Anyway, so they're swimming over the trench and Dory sees a baby jelly.
I shall call him Squishy, and he shall be mine, and he shall be my Squishy.
It zaps her and Marlin kicks it away. And then they get surrounded by the jellies. Yes, Marlin panics. There's jellies everywhere, but Dory's bouncing on top of them. Whee! Whee! She challenges Marlin to a race.
Now it's built for speed.
And rockets through the jellies and wins the race. Yay! But oh no, Dory's nowhere to be seen. So Marlin goes back into the jellies to find her. Did she die? No. Marlin found her, so he grabs her and they swim through the jellies, getting zapped left, right. Did they die? You're about to find out, my child. So we go back to the dentist's office where Sharkbait is ready to escape. He jumps into the thingamajig and shoves a stone into the whatchamacallit. Success! But on his way out, the stone gets loose and Sharkbait gets sucked back into the
thingamajig.
Did he die?
No, the other fish worked as a team and rescued him. Sharkbait is traumatized and Gil accepts defeat. Life trapped inside of a cage for human enjoyment forever. So we go back to the ocean where Marlin was saved by a turtle named Crush. And he's like,
First you were all like, whoa, and then we were like, whoa, and then you were like, whoa. Taking on the jellies. You got serious thrill issues, dude. Oh, awesome.
and then they go down this vortex.
Righteous! Yeah!
And when it's over, you ask Marlin,
Oh, what brings you on this fine day to the EAC?
just before Marlin tells him about his adventure, he remembers Dory. Crush shows him where she is. Dory lays there, dead.
No, Daddy, she was playing hide and seek with the other baby turtles.
So Squid gets thrown out of the current and Martin rushes to save him.
Whoa, kill the motor, dude. Let us see what Squirt does flying solo.
And Squid comes back and he says,
Hey, Dad, did you see that? Did you see me? Did you see what I did?
You're so totally rock, Squirt! So give me some fin. Noggin. Yeah.
And then Marlin gets swarmed by the hatchlings.
Did you die?
Sorry, I was a little vague on the details.
So Marlin tells the hatchlings how Nemo was taken away by a diver and the crazy adventures they've been on battling sharks, anglerfish, jellyfish. Word gets around as the turtle tells fish and the fish tells the Will Smith fish, and now the lobsters are talking about it.
It's like wicked dark down there. You can't see a thing. How's it going, Bob? And then
Everybody's talking about it.
Daddy, does this mean that all the fish in the whole world are going to hear this story?
Magnificent question, my child. So Nigel hears that Nemo's dad is on the way and he throws away the crab he was about to eat.
And Master Crab Fool was like, you want to battle me? Hiya, hiya, wah.
Yes. So Sharkbait's depressed because he's about to die, but Nigel flies in to tell Sharkbait that his dad is on his way. He took on sharks and jellyfish and sea demons and a whale, and Sharkbait can't believe it. His dad is a hero. He's so excited. He finally knows that his daddy loves him. Now he's motivated. He grabs a stone and jumps back into the pump and blocks it, and everybody's like, yay!
Sharkbait, woo-ha-ha.
Sharkbait, woo-ha! Got you all in check. So Gil tells everyone their plan is in motion, and he tells Jacques to stop cleaning, and Jacques says, I am French, I will protest. So we head back to the EAC where Marlin and Dory are about to make an exit. So Squid gives them a rundown of the exit strategy, but I can't hear a word he's saying. And Squid pushes them out. Crush points them in the right direction to Sydney, just as the baby Ninja Turtles land on his back, and he's like,
You tell your little dude I said hi, okay?
and everybody says goodbye. It's so wholesome.
Daddy, is that an eye water on your cheek?
No, it's cheek sweat.
Daddy, when is Crush gonna get his own movie?
That would be awesome, my child.
Maybe it could be about Squid getting thrown out of the current and Crush has to find him.
Disney, we own the IP to that idea.
Daddy, you know who Crush reminds me of?
Ooh,
You, Daddy.
I love you so much, my child. Anyway, so now they're staring into the vast expanse of nothing and start swimming. So they've been swimming for a while, and Marlin notices a speck he saw before, and he goes into a panic. But Dory asks Marlin to do something unthinkable.
What's that, Daddy?
I can't even bring myself to think about it. She asks Marlin to ask for directions. Then Dory makes an offensive statement about men and asking for directions.
Daddy, do you ask people for directions? Honey, why don't you just ask someone for directions?
How dare you?
Daddy, would you rather ask for directions or catch pneumonia and die?
I'd rather catch pneumonia and die.
So they see a little fella.
Come on, little fella.
It turns out to be a whale, and Dory remembers that she can speak whale.
Daddy, how does Dory remember all the different whale languages if she doesn't have a memory?
So the girls swim away, and the whale eats Marlin and Dory.
Oh no!
So we go back to the fish tank, and Jill's plan worked. It's absolutely filthy, just like our pool, Daddy. How dare you? So the dentist walks in, crikey, and wipes the filthy algae on the kid. Sharkbait is excited. He can't wait to see his dad, but he doesn't know that his dad is trapped inside of a whale and is desperately trying to get out. Dory speaks to the whale, and the whale tells her it wants a root beer float.
No, Daddy, the whale said they must go to the back of the throat.
So Marlin eventually trusts Dory and lets go, and they fall
fall, and they fall and splash. The whale shoots them out of its spout, and so Daddy, the whale was taking them to Sydney. Yeah. So the next morning, the fish wake up, but oh no, the tank is clean thanks to the Aquascum 2003. Oh no! So the Aquascum scans the tank and reads the temperature. Sharkbait gets fishnapped again, but the fish band together and swim down and push the net out of the dentist's hand. Daddy, how is that possible? Through the power of will. Sharkbait gets shoved into a bag and taken out of the tank. Daddy, why did Jill call him Nemo instead of Sharkbait?
Nemo! Sharkbait!
Splendiferous question, my child. So Sharkbait starts swimming to the window and everybody's like, yay! You can do it, Sharkbait!
Nope.
Oh no! So Marlin and Dory arrive at the harbor and they get eaten up by a pelican. Daddy, that's the 4th time something tried to eat them. Exactly. So now they're getting swallowed, but Marlin's like, you die! Daddy, why don't all fish do this? Stupendous question, my child. So Nigel saves the pelican and they've discovered that this is the fish that's been looking for his son. What a coinky-dink, Daddy. Out of all the birds in Sydney, they found the right one. Some things you just can't believe. So Marlin and Dory are suffocating and they're trying to get back into the water, but they get stopped by the sky rats and he tells them, jump in my mouth and follow me. They jump into his mouth, but the crackhead sky rats give chase, only to get trapped by a boat saying, yay! Back at the dentist's office, Darla sits down for a checkup.
I'm a piranha. They're in the Amazon.
And her uncle gets up to give Darla a gift, but when he gets there, Sharkbait is dead. No, Daddy, he was just pretending. Yes. So instead of flushing him down the toilet, the dentist decides to throw him away in the trash can. That sounds like a terrible idea, Daddy. Exactly. So in comes Nigel with Marlin and Dory, causing Dwight Schrute levels of chaos when Marlin finally sees Nemo dead, and the dentist kicks them out.
Why are you sleeping?
Gil launches himself out of the tank and violently attacks Darla on the head and flips Sharkbait down the sewers and into the ocean. Daddy, do fish eat our poop? Yes, my child. And we eat the fish. And that's why your daddy doesn't eat seafood. So Nigel returns the dejected Marlin and Dory back to the ocean. Marlin, distraught, tells Dory, don't follow me, and leaves Dory all by herself. She begs him not to leave, but Marlin decides it's time to move on. But little does he know, Nemo's looking for him. Then the crabs are like, Nemo bumps into Dory.
I'm Nemo. Nemo? That's a nice name.
Daddy, Dory is driving me crazy.
I'm Nemo. Nemo? That's a nice name.
You have no idea, my boy. So they're busy looking for Dad, and Dory sees it. Dory's going crazy. She cannot believe it.
My father?
Finally, kindly asks for direction. But Daddy, how will they find Nemo's dad in such a huge ocean? Super barely, he's an inconvenience. Marlin is swimming and Nemo just shows up. Yay! They swim and swim towards each other. Finally, they're back together again. It's so beautiful. Nemo's dad tells him Daddy loves you. But oh no, Dory's caught in a fishing net, never to be seen again. No, Daddy. Nemo tells them to start swimming down.
Keep swimming. Just keep.
They keep swimming and swimming, and finally the net breaks and everybody is free. Yay! But Nemo lays there dead. No, Daddy, Nemo is okay. Marlin tells Nemo he met a sea turtle and he was 150 years old. So they go back to the reef and Marlin is a cool dad now, and all the other fish dads ask him if all those stories were true. Dory rocks up with the sharks and they remind everyone, fish are friends.
Not food.
And that's why your daddy doesn't eat seafood. I love you, Daddy. Love you too, my child.